Item 9C is consideration acceptance, rejection of bids, and approval of a contract amendment with Crossland Construction Company, construction manager for the guaranteed maximum price GMP 3 for the AC Caplinger Ballfield Renovation project to include masonry, door, assemblies, tile, wall coverings, specialties, signage, multiple seating, general trades, plumbing, asphalt, landscape project requirements, insurance, performance bond, and owner's contingency, and consideration of approval of resolution number
3-25.
3-25, appointing purchasing agent. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Just here to do a brief presentation on the results of bid package number 3 and an update on the progress of the project. The last 2 bid packages had really favorable results. This was more of a mixed result, which I'll go over. Just kind of a reminder of the project right here that we're building right now. Just for the purpose of the discussion, I'll just highlight this dashed line here is a large gas line running through the site. It is a really challenging site with that and with the former conditions that we're kind of running into now, but we're working through things. And just kind of a rendering of what we anticipate the finished product will look like when it's done. So the work in this package that we want to award is listed up there. It's kind of basic things that need to happen for the project to move on. The awarded items are within the anticipated budget from the construction manager at risk. On this bid package, there were a few trades that received no bids that will need to rebid. And then there were a few items such as the synthetic turf, which is a key part of this project, and the concrete that came in over the estimated budget of the construction manager. So with that being said, several of the items will be rejected so that we can do some value engineering to make sure that we can get the project within budget. And we've been working on that over the last few weeks, and I think we're where we need to be on paper and delivering what we expect, the key parts of the project. But that won't be known until we know the results of bid package 4. So we're working through that. We'll work with the oversight committee on that process and present those options and things that we're looking to adjust on the project to make sure that we keep it within budget. And we've continued to work with EYSA to continue offer programming at Mitch Park, and they've made investments into the fields there to allow baseball to continue throughout this construction process. And just a reminder on the budget, that's the budget that we set forth for construction, design, and art and third-party inspection, and just a list of the different guaranteed maximum price from the construction manager and where we're sitting at right now if this is awarded tonight. And this is just a breakdown of each trade that's being awarded and the price for each thing, and the breakdown of the bonds and contingency and all that that's going into the project. So just kind of our next steps, we'll work through the value engineering process. Like I said, we've worked with the architect and construction manager and identified opportunities that we feel get us where we need to be on paper. Those things will be rebid and reviewed with the oversight committee on the project. We anticipate those bids will be opened up in February and brought back to you, and we'll hope for good results there. One important thing that I forgot to mention that I skipped over here is just kind of on the project. We're targeting fall of 2025 for completion. We are going to need to add 2 months to the timeline of the project. There were last minute design changes required by ONG. That's that gas line that I pointed out on the drawing. We'd been waiting for feedback for a long time, and we got that right as we finished the plans. So there was some time to go back and revise, also a water line, and just small adjustments to the landscaping in the parking lot too. Those are turned back over to engineering for review. And then the other thing with the site is it was kind of the biggest known unknown on the project, or the conditions under the ground there of it being a place where trash was dumped historically. There was drilling done to try to anticipate the amount of trash, but there's really no way of knowing until you get into it. And it's been significant. It's been a lot that's been uncovered there. And so they're about 50% of the way through excavation, and they're working through that right now. But that takes time to test. It's every 50 yards. It needs to be tested to understand the condition, and so it's properly disposed of. So it can be frustrating from a budgeting and project management standpoint, timeline management, but at the same time, we're not only going to deliver a wonderful project for the community, we're doing some major cleanup out there too, the right way, and taking it to where it should be in the proper place and testing it as we go. So not the greatest thing, but if anybody wants to go out there and see kind of what we're pulling out of the ground, I'd be happy to take you out there. There's some Edmond history there in the ground. So, some really interesting glass bottles that we've found, along with not so exciting things. But anyways, that being said, any questions I can answer at this time?
Well, maybe the History Museum might want to take a tour to see if there's anything they want to put into their inventory. Thank you. That is one of the known unknowns about underground sites. We can't see it, and we did know where we were building, that it was on top of a dump, or so that's part of construction at times. Council.
I guess just, I want to make sure that, I mean, we were presented kind of all the specifications for this project and what it was going to look like, was presented to us. And I'm not on the oversight committee, and you had mentioned some of the value engineering going up just before the oversight committee. So I would just ask that if there are changes to the specifications, I think that the entire council should be made aware of those changes. And make sure that we're not changing the specifications, but maybe just some of the materials to get it within budget. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can provide that.
Okay. Because I know some bids were rejected, some were not, and there's going to be, it said value engineering. I just want to make sure that
Absolutely.
I have clarity about what I voted on before is the project that we're going to see.
Okay.
And that we're not changing how much turf is there with the sidewalks and some things like that.
Okay. Yeah, I can give information to the council.
Thanks.
Yeah.
She said what I was, thank you.
Okay, absolutely.
Any other questions, comments, council?
I guess the other thing is you said it's a couple months behind because of the OG&E stuff. And so I know we were targeting getting it done by a certain time so that, and I'm not an expert on youth sports, but so that I guess fall baseball can happen. And so I guess are we working with EYSA on some contingency plans if those fields aren't ready and where are they going to play and stuff? I mean, I assume so.
Yeah, we held a full fall season. Like I mentioned, so we made improvements. We basically were able to add 3 temporary fields at Mitch Park to allow a full season, and it went really well.
Great.
And that was one of the things going into the project. We didn't know if we'd be able to have baseball. So it's been a great partnership with EYSA. We'll work on that. And I haven't I'm not ready to give up hope that we can't make up some time. It's still pretty early on, so I'm not ready to say absolutely, we're delayed this far. I still want to hold out a little hope that we can make up some time. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bugg.
Thank you. Good comments? Council, what would you like to do on item 9C?
I move to approve.
Second, Mayor.
Motion, second. Any other discussion? Please cast your vote. Item is passed. Thank you very much.